Hey, have you seen Star Trek Discovery? Do you like Star Trek Discovery? I'm on the fence. I kind of like it, kind of don't like it. I'm not really sure. We're going to talk about it in just a minute. This is going to be fun. I want to enjoy this. All right, Star Trek Discovery. Everybody, I'm sure you're all familiar with it. Star Trek Discovery, if you're watching this, right? It's a beautiful show. I want to start out by saying it's a beautiful show. Fantastic graphics. They had apparently unlimited funds when it came to visuals and sets and designs and everything. And, I didn't really care for the uniforms. I thought the uniforms were kind of ugly, to be honest. They might have been a good uniform for a different show, but for Star Trek, I was looking for. But I get it; they were kind of a medium between what was going on in Enterprise and where they were in with Star Trek with Captain Kirk and Captain Pike and stuff like that. So I get where they were. So I want to take a moment real quick and say hello. Hey, Tons of Mice. Good evening. How are you doing? Nice to have you with us. Tons of Mice, the Blazing Wizard Pope. Christian, nice to have you with us again. Sci-Fi fans all. He and I were talking about the Red Dwarf before the show. I got to get me some Red Dwarf going on. I haven't seen that yet, so I have to. I'm waiting to see if the Streamlabs bot actually starts going. I don't know how. Is there a command you can try to turn it on with the bot? I don't know. I don't know what command. Clearly, it's not running yet. So we'll wait and see. If it does start running, then I'll put the poll up. I'm not going to put the poll up yesterday because people were voting their little asses off. But it wasn't working because the Streamlabs bot was not working. And doesn't appear to be working yet tonight. So I'm fine. And I did send a red shirt. Yes, I did see. I did send support an email going, hey, what's the deal? You like the red shirt? Peep this, my homie. You like that? My lucky red shirt. There we go. Yeah, when I had my surgery, I wore this to the hospital the day I had my surgery. It was good fun. Let's see if that camera. I got things working today, so hopefully the sound should be working. Now you people I can every now and then flip over here to my I call it the bald spot camera, but apparently the Finasteride is doing a really good job. So as far as I can tell, the audio is working from that angle tonight, and we've got there am I working from that angle. So we've got it all working. Apparently, I need to buy more cameras, more real cameras, but these will do. It's kind of cool. I'm enjoying it. So. If you guys, Christian or Tons of Mice guys, if you have a question or a comment, let me know about how do you feel, for one, about Enterprise, Star Trek Discovery STD. Have you seen STD yet? I watched the show, and in my episode last night, I talked about my experience and who I am with Star Trek and what I feel is Star Trek and blah 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 blah. And now we watch this here Star Trek Discovery, and it's not what I would call Star Trek, right? So it is obviously Star Trek. It's clearly Star Trek, but it's like the people who are writing it have never seen Star Trek. That's kind of what I'm getting from the thing. I liked it. There's things I liked about it. I liked the actress. The actors, there's not an actor or actress I do not enjoy, I think. They're all fine actors. Blazing Wizard. Okay, so all right. The beginning is really hard. I have notes over here. Let me before we do this thing here. Also, more people tend to watch on Facebook. So hey, Facebook people, nice to have you. I'm trying to watch on the I Spy Sci-Fi review page. So if you go like my I Spy Sci-Fi Facebook page, and you can comment and talk at me there while we're doing the show. But so I made myself a list. I want to make a point that the acting and the graphics for the show are fantastic. I've already mentioned the graphics and how they had money, blah, 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 blah. But the acting, they're all wonderful. I guess it's primarily the writers or the writing that I have an issue with. The story. And it's again, I have to fall back on, did these people not watch Star Trek? Do you not watch Star Trek? Why do we have a mycelial network? Why is there a tardigrade? Why do we have these things? I understand them. It's not a concept that's beyond me, and I don't understand it. It's just not Star Trek. It'd make great for a different sci-fi show. You could make a different science fiction show, a story out of it. Great. It's just not Star Trek. In fact, for those of you who don't know, it actually, they stole it. The writers who apparently stole the tardigrade, the mycelial network, the gay engineer who monitors it and takes care of it and who has another engineer, they stole all that from another show or another series or some kind of book or something like that, and got sued for it. And therefore, they can't show those things anymore, and eventually had to get rid of it. Why? All right, I get it. You want a ship that can go boom and be over there instantly. That's cool. I dig it. I get that. I understand the premise. It's a game changer in a war with the Klingons, and of course, it helps Lorca get back over to the dark side or whatever. But still, there's other ways of doing it besides ripping off somebody else's sci-fi. And actually, you can do it within the pre-made Star Trek world instead of going and ripping it off from some other Star Trek or some other sci-fi. And what I'm talking about is for if you wanted a ship to do that, you could have used the Iconian gates. We've had some engineers that we discovered some Iconian technology. We've integrated it. We've been able to integrate it to this one, possibly two ships or something, whatever. And that was the solution. You didn't have to steal somebody else's story for that. So thumbs down to the writers of Discovery for ripping off the mycelial network and the tardigrade. Bad on you. I'm gonna after today. I spent today it's been a few months, really, to be honest, since I've seen Discovery. So I went and I watched some shows to kind of help catch me up on what had happened during those shows. And while doing that, I thought, man, there's so very much. The 1 hour tonight during this show is not going to be enough for me to rattle about all the things that are right and wrong with Discovery in the first two seasons that I've seen it. So I'm going to actually say, so after I'm done doing Picard, because Picard is just right here right now. Once I'm done doing Picard, season 1, and I've got that under my belt, I'm going to come back possibly. I think it's probably what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do a review of episode by episode of Star Trek Discovery, because it deserves it. It just does. There's just so much to it. There's so much there to love and hate. The battle scenes, fantastic, wonderful scenes. I mentioned the actress. I'm sorry, I can't say her name. I'll go try to figure out how to say her name. She's got an interesting and unique name, so I'll try to figure it out. But, for a lot of acting, because I'm somebody who actually studies acting and wants to be an actor someday, hopes to someday be in a show or something like that, that'd be cool. A lot of it's kind of face acting. They put this huge camera in your face. Whoa, here's a big lens, in your face. And it's like, okay, this is happening over here. And there's nothing happening over there. Other people who are on the show who are like the sound guy, he's standing there. And you're supposed to, with your face, react. And that's a lot. Watch movies, like the Tomb Raider. Watch the new Tomb Raider. She's doing the movie. This is one example we use. And she's watching like a playback of her dad on the thing, and there's probably nothing on the screen. There might be something on the screen, the actor probably talking, but really they're just showing her face, and it's all, the whole 5 minutes is just her. It's all face acting. With this actress, they hit her, especially in season 2, it gets really, I want to say, bad. The writers the directors, whoever does it, they really like to throw her up against some kind of scenario that shocks her or appalls her, and they get this look on her face, right? And they do it over and over, and it's like, here she is. Let's do that again. Here, all right, you ready to do that face? Make that face. Here we go. Look at Spock. Something just happened to Spock. Make that face, baby. Come on, hit me with the face. Sorry. This is for fun, entertainment purposes only, people. Anyway, as I'm watching the show, I'm thinking, oh man, please. Anyway, so let's get back to the show. I haven't even gotten into the show yet. We're just talking about the little things before the show. So I've got a list. Oh, hey, Scotty, how are you doing? A red shirt. Did you see the red shirt? Yes, the red shirt. This is my lucky red shirt. I have also fixed some other things. Wile Coyote, super genius. I got the bald spot camera is working this evening. You can see me go do that voodoo as I do so well. I got the thing here. This is my little touchpad control thing. I do all the stuff right here. I'll boop, 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 boop. I wish I could. Ooh. I need to make Star Trek sounds as I work it. No, that'd suck during a show. Anyway, and then, here's the teleprompter and the camera I'm looking at. And then there's that monitor. And there's another monitor I'm not using up there. Anyway, it's really cool. And then I got the high camera up there. The Eye of God. We talked about that last night. Hello, Eye of God. Nice to have you with me. There we go. Why is it? Oh, okay. As long as it's applauded, that works for me. Okay, and so, yeah, I got a lot of the technology working last night. Apparently, though, the chat bot isn't working. Streamlabs bot is still not working in the chat. I don't know why. I mean, I've got the poll. The poll is still there. I didn't really see a point in putting it because there's no Stream Elements bot. I sent a message to the people at the place with the stuff, and we're waiting for them to respond, and hopefully they'll respond. We'll do the thing. So hopefully someday. Slap bot, right? Preach. Truth. Okay, so those things were happening. So now let's get back to some of the things we were talking about on the show. Starting with the show, starting with the first episode. Now, let's talk about that first episode. Again, it's been a few months since I've seen them. I'm going to do episode by episode review, but in that first episode, they go out. Something damaged one of their probes, I think, or something. So they send the Shinzo out there. The Shinzo's investigating, and they find something. There's actually something. All right, so you go to see what happened to a thing that belongs to you. And while you're there looking to see what happened to the thing, you actually happen to notice that there's some other thing, like over there. And you can't really see what that thing is. And therefore, you would naturally kind of presume. I mean, these things are relatively close together. They're knocking on each other's door space-wise. They're like right there. It's just they're so close. So you're like, clearly the two had to. So do you drive over there and see what's going on? Do you fire a probe over there? No. You put somebody in a suit and shoot them like 10,000 kilometers. I mean, maybe 10, between 2 and 10. I'm not really sure how far it is. Shoot this individual between 10 and 2,000 kilometers over to this mysterious thing that you don't know what it is. It kind of looks like a Cylon ship, if I remember right. You're really going to do that? That's really the smartest possible. It's just ridiculous. I'm going to use the word ridiculous here in this show probably a lot. Ridiculous, as defined, if I remember correctly, means worthy of ridicule. And that's one of those things you should really go, man, you shouldn't have done that. That's worthy. That's ridiculous. I'm going to ridicule you for that. There you have now been ridiculed. So that's just one of those. That's just anyway. So they do it. They did it. I get it. All right. So we do it. You got no better other way. Not a space shuttle, a space shuttlecraft, nothing. You just got to send a person over there, and at phenomenal freaking speeds that would just totally destroy this woman. They're like, whoa, 2,000 kilometers, just zoom. I mean, it reminds me of Spock in the motion picture, and it's probably supposed to. Yeah, Spock, her brother. Her half-brother, her adopted brother, did the very same thing, except for it was in the middle of a big, huge space monster that had eaten their vessel, kind of, sort of, in a way. Anyway, so that's the best way to get her over there. Anyway, moving on. That's just a tiny little flaw in logic. Drama, right? Drama. I'm just gonna gloss over how in a spacesuit she accidentally killed a fully armored Klingon with his own batleth on accident. That's just, let's go on. We're moving on and we're walking. Okay, so, Sonequa is close to how to pronounce Sonequa Martin Green's first name. There you go, Sonequa. I can do that. Hooked on Phonics worked for me. I actually never used Hooked on Phonics, so I don't know. It's just funny. Okay, so I can remember that. Sonequa, maybe. Yeah, movies and physics, especially momentum, is often the first thing that's true. That's one of the things I really enjoy about The Expanse, is that they take that into account as to what happens when you go too fast or when you change velocity too quickly. They really handle that very well in the show. That's a series I'm going to do a review on just because it's such a good series and show. Okay, all right. So back to what I was talking about. So let's move on a little bit. Now she realizes that she was it's Klingons. She figures out it's Klingons. She gets back to her ship, even though she got irradiated, and she's all irradiated, and she manages to get back to the ship. Then we get to watch her crawl from the medical bay to the bridge, essentially like in medical bandages, sort of not unlike Fifth Element's Lilu. So she could make that face as she points out the window to the Klingons. Technical aspects of The Expanse, and talks about the Klingons. So, they're talking about you just got irradiated and your organs are technically liquefying right now, but no, you carry on. It's like these people have never been hurt. I had like hernia surgery and I could barely walk for days. My testicles just rang like a bell. Anyway, Star Trek's the motion picture when it was released in 1976. Yep. Well, good words. Tons of nice good words. So that was I thought that was odd. And then they have to wait for the Klingons. So then they go in there and they get this Star Trek technology. Because, man, I'll tell you, the Star Trek medical technology is just fantastic. It's amazing. Super amazing. So it's amazing. We'll talk about that more again later. That's going to come back to us later in an ironic fashion. Anyway, so they get her back and they get her healed, because that's how it works. And they get her back on the bridge, and now she's on the bridge, and she's working as a commanding officer on the bridge. She's a commanding officer on the bridge of a Starfleet ship on the. Is it Starfleet? Yeah, they are Starfleet. Because Enterprise, right? Enterprise wasn't Starfleet. Anyway. And they weren't Federation. Anyway, never mind. So she's a commander on this ship, and the Klingons are out there. There's an emergency situation. Things are going down. The situation is dire. And what does she do? I kind of get. She shuts down. She's like, "Excuse me, Captain. I need to leave the bridge." So she runs off, and she literally calls her dad. "Hey, Dad. You remember that one time in band camp with that flute? How did you defeat the Klingons?" And all right. She's supposed to be Wile E. Coyote, super genius, like woo, blah, smart, a human who was in a Vulcan environment, who had to be better than the Vulcans in order to show that she could be as good as the Vulcans, and all the things that you go through that. And she's went through all that school, and she didn't know, had no idea how the Klingon thing went with the Vulcans. Didn't know, had no idea. So she actually shuts down in the middle of a crisis. You're toe to toe with an enemy vessel, ready to phaser cannons. Okay, ready to torpedoes ready? Yes, but wait. Got to go call my dad. Can you hold on? I'll be right back. Dad! Really? Yes, it really happens in the first 1 or 2 episodes of Star Trek Discovery. I don't remember if it's the first or second episode. Yes, she shuts down and goes and calls her dad. Because, obviously her dad is obviously the guy who has that one answer to that one question. Nobody else seems to know, including her. I just thought that was awkward. But that too will come back to haunt us. I was worried I was going to have a hard time rattling. We haven't even got started yet. And I'm 20 minutes into it. Okay, so motion picture winners. Okay, so there had to be a better. So Starfleet command vessel goes and calls her dad. Okay, there we go. So how would she know so much about Klingons? Okay. So now let's move on to the show. Now we go into this thing and they have the battle with the thing and they kill the Klingons and they fight and all the stuff that happens, and then they go on. And she gets taken as a traitor, a mutineer, and she's put in prison forever and all this stuff. And that's kind of good. She's going to die in prison. That's great. And then she's going along and she gets put on the Discovery. And that's so we finally get to the Discovery. And so we're on the Discovery. Now she's on the Discovery and we meet the things about the tardigrade. That's when we found out about the tardigrade and the mycelial network, and we get to meet, I think he's a Lieutenant Stamets. Maybe he's Lieutenant Commander. I could be wrong. If you're familiar with it and you're in the chat, go ahead and let me know. But I think, yeah, Stamets. So, let me do this thing here. So she meets Lieutenant Stamets, and then of course the doctor guy and all these things, and it's all real nice. That's cool. Now, at this point in the show, I think they've moved 6 months into the future. 6 months. Boom, 6 months later. So 6 months later, we've moved into the future. Great Grand and Groovy, we're in the middle of a war now with the Klingons. A full-blown, real, actual war with the Klingons. We are in the Federation, Starfleet's best ship. It's top secret, super secret ship. It's super secret ship. That's the ship we're on. Behind enemy lines often, preparing to do stuff. And we've got a cadet. There's a cadet. A cadet runs the cadet. There's a cadet on the ship, for one. The fact that there's a cadet at all on the ship is kind of, I find, awkward. But then we find out that she's like the Stamets' right-hand man. And then Stamets later on in the show, he kind of just goes away and she does whatever he does. She takes over the mycelial everything, you know? And what else does she do? She does everything. This girl, whoa. Before we go too far, who is the engineer on the ship? Who's the engineer? Do we have an engineer on the ship? Who's the engineer on Star Trek Discovery? Let me see what stuff's working. Haro? Yes, it is. So who's the engineer on the Starship Discovery? Is Lieutenant Stamets? I thought Lieutenant Stamets was some sort of spore expert, some expert in spore stuff, and created the mycelial drive and all that stuff. Now, a mycelial drive has got to be something completely different than a warp engine. You can't really, it's hard to imagine that the same person who does, it's like expecting a auto mechanic to know how to fix LCD TVs. The difference, I don't can imagine, could be possibly be more. And yet, is Stamets the engineer? So he's also the warp field engineer? Is that what I'm hearing? But then again, later on, Stamets kind of goes down. And he's useless. And who takes over for Stamets? Tilly. So Tilly is like a warp field engineer, and she's a spore expert, and she knows all about this stuff, and she knows all about that stuff, and she's a freaking cadet. Now I've heard, I think what happened was somebody actually kind of probably brought this up. You know, they're like, why is it that this girl knows freaking everything, and she's just like a cadet? She's a cadet. She's just not even supposed to be there. Why is that? And so I've heard the rumblings that there's a book they came out with that kind of explains that she's some kind of wily coyote super genius. It just kind of excuses it all. And okay, fine. So let's move on for a minute. I just want to, yeah. So because I actually really enjoy the actress who plays Tilly. I think she's great. And, you know, I think whenever you see season 2, you get to see her in the other universe, the Messiah. I like it. You get to see her in the other universe, and that really is an interesting. It kind of shows you something, because in the other universe, she's like this empress, or the right hand of an empress, or something like that. She's just so, you know, the Lord of Lords. Like, you've got this queen of all of the Federation of all the planets, and Tilly is like right there, and she's like, where's the thing? She commands fleets, and she's this horrible person who kills thousands. You know, in that show, they kind of exemplify how, like, even though she's almost 15. Sorry, she's probably like 25 or something. But you know what I mean? She's kind of ridiculous that she's been able. Ridiculous. There's that word again. But let's look at her again back on Enterprise or on Discovery, and here's this person who should not be. She should not be there. There's no way. I don't feel that it would be appropriate for a cadet to be on a top secret project. Drop that, just that alone. Let's go top secret project. Put that over here, top secret project. You would not have a cadet working on a top secret. And then let's go the most advanced vessel in the fleet, top secret. Put that over here. Not likely to have a cadet on the most advanced vessel in the fleet. And then you've got a war with the Klingons, and this vessel is behind enemy lines. The likelihood that they're really going to have a cadet is just, And something else. In the first, 3 or 4 episodes, we get to see this security lady. She's a Cylon. Be careful. She's a Cylon. She's a Cylon. And not even like a good Cylon. She smacked old Kaylee and threw her out an airlock. But then by that point, who didn't want to? If you know what I'm talking about, extra points to you for the Battlestar Galactica references. Anyway, so this lady is a Cylon. She's not really a Cylon. Coffee. Okay, so she is a security officer, an experienced security officer. Somebody who I presume, because she actually happens to be on, like, not the flagship of the Federation, because that is still the Enterprise out on its 3-year mission or 5-year mission. Totally get that. But it's like the very next level. It's like the next from the Enterprise. You know? That's where we are. So she had to have had some experience. This security officer. She's not some idiot. And we saw what happened, what this thing did. There were like a dozen Klingons. Now, Klingons, big girthy girls, right? You know what I mean? They was, and this Klingon's like, shh. And they're like, did that Klingon just shush me? And this thing like rips him apart right there, like pulling the wings off of flies. And then rips through bulkheads, like rip. They name it Ripper because it rips through bulkheads, not bulkheads of the USS Enterprise built in 1984 aircraft carrier that floats around. No, this is the USS Discovery, you know, or its sister ship, the best of the best. I mean, it's modern fake Star Trek metals and all this stuff, and this thing just kind of rips through it. Rip. They shoot it. Bah. Nothing happens to this thing. And then, later on, after they've captured it, I get how they captured it. Very well done. Just kind of beam it from floating in space into the thing. That's cool. Got it. In a containment field. That's really cool. And then this highly, I guess, experienced security officer gets herself and a rifle and another officer alone and lets this creature out of its box. I'm going to go ahead, gas it. Put gas, right? Because we know what kind of gas is going to... Okay. So, let me get everything up and running here. It looks like my stream died. So I just figured I'd go ahead and reconnect so I could go ahead and try to finish off my little complaint. There we go. Oh, you're killing me. Kill me. Okay, I'm almost there. Let me get back to the chat here so I can see what's going on. And I will continue my conversation about Star Trek Discovery. There you are. Get shareable link. Paste and go. Sorry, guys. If, yeah, I guess I'm going to have to... So it looks like we're streaming. Are we streaming? Yes. Okay, so it looks like the evil minions of orthodoxy managed to, you know, undo my stream. I don't think the chat is working now, and I'm not really sure what to do about it. How to get it to kick back in. I did notice, though, for those who are interested, that just before, matter of fact, when it died, the Streamlabs had started working. It just popped up. Streamlabs just started popping up in the thing and was working. And all of a sudden it died. So sorry for the but yes, I know, right? So we got distracted. Let me carry on though with my rant about Star Trek Discovery, because I mean, I may have to make it a two-parter. We may have to do a two-part thing because, yeah, just because time. I didn't realize I was going to be able to rant so much about this one show. So let's get back to it. So, what is a cadet doing in a secret project on a top secret ship? Okay, so now we've already talked about this about Stamets. What is Stamets? Stamets is a spore guy, right? The stream ended when you talked about the containment field and gas. Oh, yes. Oh, thank you very much. So the containment field. So they go in there and they're going to gas this creature. So they gas it. We don't know. I don't remember what kind of gas. Some sort of neurazine or thorazine or some kind of ezine or something, right? Star Trek zine. And that's it. I mean, they just let some gas in there and then, okay, turn down the field. And I'm watching this. I'm going, that's not a smart idea. I worked in the oil field. We had OSHA. OSHA had rules on safety. This is not one of those. This is not safety first. This is not a safety first moment. And she paid the price. This thing just gobbled her up. But of course, Sonequa did not. Michael Burnham, it did not. Hello. There you go, Jeff Drake. Hola. Great. Are you watching the live one? Are you watching? Yes. Okay. Pardon me. Confused. Yeah, so this lady, wait, I don't know. No, I think he's watching the other stream. Yeah. So let me drop a link. I want to drop a link and paste. Anyway, so yeah, I thought that whole premise that I actually enjoy her character. I enjoy this lady's character on the show. I enjoy the actress. I just thought that particular thing was ridiculous. That's what it was. It was ridiculous to think to lower that shield. Who wrote that? To the writer. The actress did a wonderful job. She did what she was supposed to do. Everybody did what they were supposed to do. You can't blame that. This is just the writer. Whoever wrote that. I guess there's probably a showrunner that went, yeah, that looks good. Actually, it's more like, yeah, that's good. Go ahead, run with it. What the hell were they thinking? That's just, I don't want to use the S word tonight. I don't want to use the S word. I don't want to use it. It was just stupid. It was stupid that they lowered that field and then lady got killed. Oh, it hurts. It hurts right here. Anyway, so that's kind of my feelings about that. Chris got beamed. Yes. Okay, back. Yes. Is it working? Stream. Yes. Yes. The chat is Stream Elements here though. Let's try. Ooh, let's try. I'm gonna try to vote. And let's see if Stream Elements has decided to join us. I left it the same, so it should be. I don't think it has. And I just wanted to say that I did notice that just before the thing died, it's like, what were we, 36 minutes into it, 35 minutes into it, and Stream Elements is like, hello, I'm finally here. You know, walking, stumbling its drunk ass into the show. And so, hello, Stream Elements. The show will be over in 20 minutes, so just in time for you to get your ass here. I'm going to type vote, though. Vote DS9, because I am a niner. So I did the thing. Waiting to see. I'm not feeling a lot of confidence. Not seeing any magic happening. Of course, it's a Nuevo Streamo, right? So naturally, it's going to take a half an hour before it pops up. So we'll see. Hopefully I'll get some word back from them. I'm like, what the hell? And you know what? It may be that I'm broadcasting straight to, or not, I'm not going straight to YouTube. I'm going to Mob Crush, and then from Mob Crush to YouTube. But my other stream bot didn't have that problem. So what the hey? What up? Anyway, so now moving on. This is one of my biggest parts. All right, so I gotta say, I really must say, I love the actor who plays Ash Tyler. I'm sorry I don't know your name. Don't know the guy's name. I really enjoy him. He does a great job, especially when it comes to speaking in Klingon. He does a wonderful fan. I mean, of all the people who do Klingon, he's the best I've ever seen, I feel. And he's the only person I've ever seen who made me wish I could speak Klingon. Most of the time I'm like, ooh, that's rough. Quebec. But man, this guy does a fantastic job. He does. He just slays it. Every time he starts talking in Klingon, I'm like, yes, me too, Voke. Let's kill them all and go run away together. I don't really say that, but up to the yes and me too Voke part. So there's that, you know. All right, so I really enjoy the actor. He does a fantastic job. Great. But you know, what is Ash Tyler? Did Ash Tyler used to be Vogue in Vogue's body and they made him into Ash Tyler? Is that what we're to believe? Or they physically took Ash Tyler and put him into another thing? Is that what happened? Or did they take Voke's mind and put it in Ash's body? Okay, and I'm saying these things because of a couple of things. One is, go look at a Klingon. I say apparently they took Voke and shortened him to make him and altered his body to make him look like Ash Tyler. At one point, Dr. Cuthbert, I think his name is, actually finds out. He's like, hey, wait a second, they actually did a lot of surgery to you to kind of, you know, turn you into this thing. And then, of course, Vogue kills him right there because he doesn't want him to get that out. So they put all of Vogue's information. No. They put all of Ash Tyler's knowledge in Vogue's head and then shrunk Vogue down, even cutting his leg bones and stuff to make that happen. What the hell? What? Because they literally said, hey, that's why Dr. Cuthbert got killed, because of all the surgery that had been done. He discovered it running his scientific scans. Now, earlier at the beginning of the first part one of this show, you'll notice that I talked about how awesome science, this Star Trek medical technology it is. It's just amazing. Fantastic stuff. And yet they couldn't tell, at a glance, that this guy had been literally converted from a Klingon into a human. You couldn't tell with your little medical data. I mean, they did medical tests on him when he got back. They even said, you passed all your tests. And it took a thorough scan from Cuthbert to find this. Really, they cut his bones and they made him smaller. Now, wait a second, there's something else to talk about. Let's go look at those Klingons. Go look at Vogue. I really wish I had a picture of Vogue and Tyler side by side. In order to do this, they would literally have to remove half of Vogue's brain. I mean, when you look at our heads, we got heads like that, and their heads are like way out here. They're way big brain, big brain. They would literally have had to have removed his brain, a huge amount of his brain, to make his head. And then this surgery to do a surgery where you don't see that, where there's no scarring. I mean, that's just crazy. That's amazing. That's some awesome stuff. Don't you think? That's just kind of fantastic. I want to say the word ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And you know what? Not only did they do all this surgery to this guy, and they transferred all of his knowledge from whoever the hell, I don't know who died. Did Ash Tyler, did they capture Ash Tyler and he's dead? Or did they capture Vogue or did Vogue put his thing in Ash Tyler's? I don't really know at this point. But it all happened in a month. In less than a month, they did all of this transformation from Vogue to Ash Tyler in less than a month. And I say that because here's the timeline. The Battle of the Binary Stars. Vogue his ship is damaged in the Battle of Iron, and he sits in the debris for 6 months. They were starting to thinking about eating each other. They were starving to death. Then finally, things happen. He gets off, and Laurel says she's going to take him to the Magic Sisters who do the stuff at the place. And then so that's 6 months. It's 6 months before that happens. Then a month later, Lorca runs into Ash Tyler in the Klingon prison ship. And we meet Ash Tyler for the first time. So, I mean, all that in a month. They did that. If they took Voq and they did that to Voq in a month. They took that guy, that Klingon, and they made it to where he could speak perfect English and knew all this history and knew all those things in a month. Really? That's just, man, I want to use the words again. That's ridiculous. It's just stupid. It's stupid is what it is. Yeah, they did that. Voq did that. Now, whether it doesn't matter whether they want to claim that Voq is really Voq, because listen, man, Dr. Cuthbert was killed. I'm sorry, man, if that's not his name. That dude was killed because he said, hey, you're a freaking Klingon. Your body has been altered to turn you. Really? That is a month. 1 month. Recovery, all these things, 1 month. And you know, where did the Klingons become these super technology guru wizards that they can do this sort of thing? Klingons aren't worried so much about healing bodies. And you know how much medical technology you would need, how much healing technology you would need to literally scoop out every organ somebody's got and put it back and do the things that they did, remove literally half of someone's brain. What the hell? What the hell, writers? I mean, come on, really? Star Trek The Next Generation and stuff like that, oftentimes they would put them on makeup, but it was makeup. They even said it was makeup. Oftentimes the makeup would come off and they'd cause problems where they'd get caught or busted because it was just a prosthetic, you know? But this is just dumb. Anyway. And then, so after Voq kills the guy and they catch Voq and he can't get along and Ash goes away, and then Ash is all eaten up about what to do. They finally are, we're going to do something. Laurel, because she loves him, because this Klingon minx is just got a soft spot for Voq or for Ash Tyler. You know, because she only knew Ash Tyler for what? How long could she have known Ash Tyler for? Anyway, so they get to the point where they're gonna, you know, she gotta silence the Voq and keep just Ash Tyler. So she does this thing where she comes in with her little, and she just and she just touches his head and makes it all, and it's like, I mean, the whole scene is. The whole thing where she does her little surgery is seconds. It's seconds. She walks up and she puts on this apparently Starfleet technology, which she apparently can use, because really it's just little finger puppets, you know, and it's little green, blue, and lights. I mean, right? And all she does is put these little blue light things on her fingers and runs it across his head. And now Voq is gone, and Ash Tyler is the only one that's left. That's just stupid, people. That's stupid. I don't care. Why would the Klingons even remotely want to have something like that? I could understand possibly for maybe espionage reasons they might want to have something like that. How they would possibly get something like that is completely be able to command these kind of technologies. Just dumb. Let me look at the time. 7:47. We haven't even got done. I think I'm gonna do this as a two-parter perhaps, because we're not even out of season 1 yet. I have other thing. We're not done yet, but I'm not done with you people yet. Yeah, they don't even use, that's an excellent point, Christian. He says, Meth, the Klingons don't use their brains anyway. Excellent point. You know, they don't. Let me go over here. 1 month Voq. All right, so let me just go through my notes. Voq's 1 month transformation into Tyler. That's just, again, 1 month. Now, then let's look at it again. Tyler actually has memories, traumatic memories of going through this and then having a subsequent affair and torture with Laurel. So he remembers being tortured with her because that was part of her programming. How long could that have taken? A month. It was in the show. Their timeline is a month. From the time that he disappears in the show to the time that he reappears as Lieutenant Ash Tyler, beard and all. It would have taken him a month just to grow the beard. Anyway, I would love to have whatever they're using to grow his beard, by the way. God, just piss him up on top. I want to say that I enjoyed that they brought Harry Mudd back. I like that character. I enjoy the actor they brought in to do it. Some of the story, whenever I get into the individual review, I think it's, man, I hate to keep saying it. That's part of the deal about Discovery, man. They got a lot of great stuff, but a lot of it's just dumb. It's just dumb. You know, I mean, Harry Mudd is in a prison. Then what, a couple of months later, he suddenly knows everything about everything and time thing, and he's got a time ship, and he's got a thing on prison, he's got this stuff, and he knows all this stuff about the Enterprise, or the Discovery, and he can go and beat the Discovery over and over. It's just... I tell you, who I need to go watch Nerdrotic. Yeah, I'm a new sci-fi review channel. Nerdrotic is regular. He's kind of been doing the thing for a while, and he's really all about the writers and who the writers were, the producers and the showrunners and stuff. And I need to go watch some of the knowledge he drops because he knows more about that. Because it's not the actors' fault, man. This is not. The actors are wonderful, wonderful actors. I love Tilly. The actress who plays Tilly, awesome. I love that they got somebody who's like not normal. So I'm not saying you're not normal. You're wonderful. Not this rail thin model-esque kind of thing that they tend to get with Stevie. She's like real. She's normal. She's real, and I dig that about her. I just don't dig the fact that her character can freaking do anything. And then Stamets goes down, and what? All of a sudden, this cadet is the spore drive expert. The this. Thank you, Inquisitive Quandary. Nice to have you along. Hey, there's our Streamlabs. Nice to have you along for the ride. Oh, we can vote. Let's try voting. I want to try to vote. Vote DS9 and go. I voted. Let's see what happens. Streamlabs bot has kind of been, I don't know, but thank you, Inquisitive Quandary, for subscribing to the channel. So yeah, I really enjoyed the actress. I think she does a great job. And it's the writers who write this stuff. I'm like, please, people, go watch Star Trek. I think it should be CBS guys. Listen, man, I'm looking at the chat. There's 5 people. One of you is bound to be a high-ranking CBS employee. Listen, go watch every episode of The Next Generation, the original series, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager. Do not let anyone write for Star Trek anything, if they have not seen those shows. If they have not seen, understand, and love them, because some weird, sick individuals out there can actually watch all those things and not love them. They're sick, twisted individuals. Those people should also not be allowed to write new Star Trek. That's heresy. I don't know why. So I watch these shows and I'm like, have you people actually watched Star Trek at all? So let's go back to Tilly again. And it's just poor writing. That's what it is. I want to say poor writing. Tilly, the cadet on the primary lead ship of the super secret blah and the super secret blah on the other side of the thing in the middle of a war, and she's the spore expert, she's the warp drive engineer, she's the this, she's the that. Is the voting working? I see Streamlabs. Oh, it's working. It is working. Yes, it's alive. It's alive. Streamlabs finally making it to the party. Welcome. Do we need people to subscribe? Do I need to subscribe? I actually think it was Inquisitive Quandary. Inquisitive Quandary came in, subscribed. And it was like waking up. So thank you. What the hell? Haha. So there we go. So vote now, vote often. Deep Space Nine. Looks like Deep Space Nine is in the running. Hey, we have an actual poll. So This is the poll from last night. We didn't get to do the thing at the place last night, so do the thing. We are fast running out of time. And there's a lot wrong with Discovery. Tomorrow, because I actually fixed many of the tech gremlins that I had yesterday. Like, we had tech gremlins. I want to show you guys who showed up. My lucky red shirt, got that. I had some tech gremlins yesterday. Like my thing back here. I call it the bald spot cam. Oi! So it's working. I got all those things working. So tomorrow, I'll actually have more time to focus on being prepared for what I want to talk about the show. I just remember I went and watched some catch-up videos today about these season 1 and season 2 and thought, well, I'll wing it as I fought the rest of these. Today, I tell you what happened. Yesterday on the show, we got caught by tech gremlins. Tech gremlins just kind of come out of everywhere. I need to get me like a plush gremlin to come out everywhere. Tech gremlins got me. And then this morning on the morning show, not related to this show at all, I just kind of do something different. Don't worry about it. I'm just saying. I'm just talking. I got ready to do the thing, and I hit the intro button. It didn't play the intro. It went right to me. I'm like, oh. And so after that, I was like, So I slaughtered me some tech gremlins. The sword went up, the sword came down, and there was like little bits of tech gremlins everywhere. They're like, oh, stop kicking my ass. I'm like, no, I'm kicking your ass right here in front of God and everybody. I'm doing it because they were tech gremlins, and they just, it's so embarrassing to have a live stream and you go, hey, check out my live stream. This is really cool. Look at my bald spot cam. Isn't that really cool? Because now that's my bald spot cam. I'm really cool because I got yeah, I didn't feel retarded. But it works. I got it to work now, so it works. Yay. So, yes, gremlin giblets all over the place. Everywhere today. I slaughtered me some tech gremlins so you don't have to. So tomorrow I'm going to wrap this up. Let me see if I may just pick up and do tomorrow's show, and obviously I got to pick up because I got to do season 2. I thought this was going to be, I thought I'd be sitting here, all right, 15 minutes in the show, I done blew my wad and talked about everything I wanted to talk about. But that's not I'm just so passionate about this Star Trek stuff. And Discovery, man, I tell you, there are many flaws with this wonderful show. They've got wonderful potential. It's got a lot of potential. I'm hoping with season 3, despite my negative Nelly nature going into this, in this second episode on my show, don't let that bother you, because in the future, I'm hoping season 3 will be wonderful. They can't do the tardigrade stuff. They cannot. It's done. They got sued. They cannot do it anymore. So that's gone. Maybe they'll get back to doing some Star Trek. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really hoping for season 3. Let me go through and just check my list. Laurel's little hand magic trick. That's just, oh my goodness. I'm going to have to do Star Trek Discovery episode by episode. I'll talk about this tomorrow. My wife was watching this. I was already kind of down with the show. Oh man, the first season starts off kind of rough, but by the end of the season, they're short seasons. They're 15 episodes or something like that. They're not like 25 episodes the old Star Trek, but they're short. But by the end of the first season, first part of it, man, I'm like, ooh, this is not Star Trek. What are you doing? This is wrong. It's very, very wrong. Don't do it. It's wrong. Stop. But man, by the end of it, I'm like, ooh, that's awesome Star Trek. We're watching 2 and 3 and 4 episodes at a time. Man, that's really cool Star Trek. That's awesome. And then by the second season, I'm like, oh, what are you doing? No. This is bad. This is bad Star Trek. This isn't even Star Trek. What's that smell? Yeah, so, yeah. And then, by the end of season 2, anyway, I wanna go ahead and do these. Hold up. Tardigrade. Yeah, okay, so you missed that part. Okay, all right. I'll tell you, people, for the slow bowlers, English folks will get that. They'll be like, he screwed it up. Anyway, send out your fast bowlers. I'm just quoting the show. Anyway, so the tardigrade thing and the mycelial network and the fact that it had a gay engineer who was taking care of it and was in charge of it, who had a partner and all that stuff, all of that was stolen whole cloth from another sci-fi entity of some kind. I think it was like a card game or something. Whoever really, I mean, the guy, and that's kind of deal. You're going to be, listen, somebody that they're like, guess what, honey? I got a job. The people who make Star Trek have called me and they want me to write Star Trek. I'm going to go write Star Trek. Let me go rip off this other show. It's not like there's not enough Star Trek there that they actually have to go rip off another show, right? Why would you do that? That's just, and it was bad. It was bad to do it anyway. They could have done something else. All right, so yeah, in case you were curious, you missed it, heads off to Google. Yes, they got sued by this guy. They cannot show the tardigrade at any or the mycelial network, I believe, going forward. But so there's that part. But we get into season 2, and you know how I told you, I mentioned in this season that the doctor guy gets killed for Vogue. He's like, snap his neck, snap. I'm dead. Well, they bring him back. He's like the troll in the mycelial network. And I'm like, as we're watching it, and at this point we didn't know who it was, but I was like, oh man, it better not be him. It better not be him. It better not be. And it's like the camera's going towards it, and it's dusky and you're seeing through this. Oh, it better not be him. And it come around the corner and it's easy. He's like, blah, blah, it's me, the doctor. I'm like, oh my goodness. I flipped about myself. The dogs thought I was mad. I was like, this is horrible. It is horrible. Who writes it? Stuff. I'm trying to be good here. YouTube analytics, YouTube network. I'm trying to be good. That's my brain, and we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Yeah. So how do I really feel? Yeah. So that part's not going to happen. So real quick though, by the end of season 1, we find out that because I'm fixing to wrap it up, it's been an hour. We find out that Ash Tyler has been accepted as the into the Section 31, because apparently everybody knows about who's Section 31, right? Nobody knows what's it's a super secret organization within Star Trek that most people have never even heard about. We've seen have you not seen Star Trek? Have you not seen Star Trek? Clearly, you have not seen Star Trek. In all of season 1, Section 31 is just and season 2, by the way, we just haven't gotten there. Section 31 is freaking everywhere. They're everywhere. They got their own badges, and they're badges that everybody recognizes. Oh, look, that's a Section 31 badge. Look, that's they have a fleet of ships, their own Section 131. Have you not seen Star Trek? You need to go watch Star Trek before you're allowed to write or showrun on a Star Trek series. Please. Because come on, people. Have you not seen it? Anyway, so Star Trek Discovery's, yes, recording target has ended in the... in the show's fair. Well, last time I checked, it was... it just depends. But go look at it. Go look at the evidence. It really, as we've already mentioned, there is the thing. Matter of fact, they already paid the guy off. The last thing I heard, they had paid the guy off. So I don't think you undo that. I need to go look. I'll need to go look at that. But clearly, there was a court battle. That's bad enough, right? And it was a bad show prop anyway. Whenever we talk and get into, I think in the first part of season 2 with the whole Stamets thing, they're going along and they run into this random meteorite. It's just floating out into space, and it happens to have some sort of dark matter on it that takes you to the mycelial network, because that shit is fucking everywhere. I'm not supposed to cuss. YouTube algorithm is going to frown on me now. Anyway, but of course we never, ever, ever see it again, ever, in any other Star Trek, ever. It's never happened before. No other science, and we're going to get into that in tomorrow's episode whenever we talk about, as we continue into season 2 of Star Trek Discovery. Season 2 has started, but because they talk about that, the mycelial network, they have to save it. They got to save us. They got to save the ship. Wait, it's not about, it's bigger than the ship. It's about a whole planet. They got to say, wait, it's not about the planet. It's about all the planets in the Federation are in danger. Oh, wait, no. It's not all the planets in the Federation are in danger. No. It's everything, everywhere, in every universe because they're all connected to the mycelial network. And every fracture, like when we watch Worf, there's these episode with Worf when to demonstrate how many different fractures, possible different times and different universes there are. Every one of those is going to be destroyed. Every universe that's connected, they're all connected, and that's what they have to save. It's nothing less than that. Everything, everywhere, everywhere. Everywhere, in every galaxy, and not just our galaxy, every galaxy, the hundreds of billions of galaxies in our universe, and every universe. And I'm like, really? That's just stupid. Come on, people, that's just dumb. So, dated yesterday. Okay, so that's new stuff. Thank you. That's new information. I'll have to go check that out. Again, the very fact that there's a story out there with a mycelial network and a tardigrade, and that they actually got sued, that alone tells you it doesn't really matter, does it? It doesn't. It tells you that they stole that from somebody. Legalities doesn't matter. It's not a matter of if they did. It's a matter of whether or not they get to win the lawsuit now. But they did it. You yourself can go look at the tardigrade and go look at the game or whatever it was that they stole it from her and go, oh, look, a tardigrade. There's the thing. The same thing with the mycelial or whatever. I don't know. But I do know it was not Star Trek. It was bad Star Trek, and it was unfortunate. They didn't have to do that. They had the Iconian stuff. You know, if you're familiar with Star Trek, this is something I've mentioned several times. You didn't have to do the mycelial network for the Starship Discovery to go bang everywhere, anywhere, and instantly in the galaxy. You could have done the Iconian gates. Your engineers or archaeologists have found some technology that you've integrated into one or two ships, and it does the same thing. Boom, you're there instantly everywhere. You know? And yet, we had to go ripping off somebody else's stuff. You're a writer and you get the job to showrun a new Star Trek series. And you can't come up with your own stuff within the world that's presented to you. Have you not seen Star Trek? Did you? Anyway, so I think let me just check and see if there's anything else I want to cover here. Good. Thank you for the link, Scotty. Great. I'll check that out. But it's been a thing. It's been a thing in the news that they've been dragged through the legal mud about this because of the thing. You know, listen, they didn't have to. If they'd have just stuck to Star Trek, they'd have been fine. It's sort of like the Xindi and the Daniels and the Enterprise and the Time War and all that. They didn't have to do that. They could have stayed within the Star Trek universe that we had and had us a Star Trek Federation Romulan War. That's what we were supposed to have. But no, we got this Xindi stuff. And, you know, they shouldn't have done that. This is what they have. They shouldn't have done that with Star Trek Discovery. They had plenty of things within our own science fiction universe that they could have used without stealing somebody else's work. Mediocre. Very mediocre. Let me just eyeball some stuff real quick. Okay, I think right now I'm going to go ahead and end tonight's show for now. Thank you very much, all of you wonderful peeps, for joining me. I want to try to figure out what happened. I think it's some kind of tech issue. I had the stream drop mid-show, so I appreciate you all bearing with me on that. Thank you, Christian. Scotty, thank you for joining me there at the end. IQ, thank you, brother. Let me check our poll real quick and see who. It does look like in our meager poll, sorry, it's just unfortunate. Yesterday, just Stream Elements, Streamlabs, bad you. It looks like according to our poll, Deep Space Nine is ahead, followed closely by The Next Generation and Enterprise. So no votes yet for some of the other ones. So no need to borrow from outside. Yes, exactly. Wonderful. An entire universe of Trekness. And yet they had to go stealing. So, I mean, when you go read the story, I read the story about the guy who actually did the tardigrade thing wasn't the one who noticed it. Other people were like, "Hey guys, have you seen this new Star Trek thing?" And he's like, "Nah, I hadn't watched it." And he finally breaks down. He goes, "Watching the first couple episodes, he didn't think much of it, and then because it doesn't have the tardigrade in it, right? He was really into it. Then episode 3, I think they finally get to the STD, the Discovery, and then he sees his tardigrade. At that point, he was like, I need to call a lawyer. The fact that they had to go through this at all tells us that there was some things that just shouldn't have happened. They didn't need to. Star Trek is beautiful. And the fact, if you have not seen Star Trek, do not write Star Trek. I have spoken. Okay, guys, I am off to save the world. Thank you very much for joining me again on my second episode. We're going to do this again tomorrow. I was going to do Start Picard tomorrow, but it looks like I'm going to spend more time and be more prepared and finish up on Discovery because we got the whole season 2. Season 1's Discovery is a whole different bag of whaleys than season 2. It's like almost as if completely different writers wrote it because guess what? So look forward to that. Ben Cross just said. I heard Ben Cross just said. If you're not familiar with Ben Cross, he is the gentleman who played the father of Spock in the most recent Jar Jar Abrams movies. So yeah. So best wishes and condolences to his family and all that. Sorry to hear about that. So you guys all have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow. I think it's something to ramble about tomorrow. Take care.